Hello, Ashley. So, joining Facebook for some morning prayers this wet and rather grotty Thursday morning. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Saw you like Marley Boo's photograph. He may appear. uh, he likes to join in with prayers. That's a cat, by the way. So, what are you hoping for today? How are you coming before God this morning? Just giving it a couple of minutes till 9 o'clock. Hopped on just a little bit early so that people could join if they wanted to. So feel free to put into comments what it is you're praying for, what it is you're hoping for, what it is you are longing for today. And maybe what you'll be doing today. So using prayers from the Celtic Wheel of the Year. You want to feel peace today, Vanessa? Yeah, no, I totally hear that. Yeah, maybe we all do in this world of uncertainty and probably many questions for each and every one of us. So, as I said, using prayers from the Celtic Wheel of the Year, and the theme set today is to everything a season. So maybe that's a good theme for us to hold today. So holding a time of quiet. So blessed be you, holder of the world in your hands. You give to everything a season as we travel on our journeys. Walk with us through this season as we set out today. Praise to you, O Divine One. For though you never ordained suffering, you help us to make sense of love's purpose when hardship befalls. Reveal the meaning of this time that you have gifted to us. Help us so to trust you that in every season we may say praise to you. So we take a moment to breathe and to become aware of love with us and within us. Loving God, you have loved me through every season, from the time of my birth until my time to die. Walk with me in this season, this day. For you know there is a time for wounding and a time to heal, a time to mourn and a time to celebrate. Hi, Elaine. A time to be creative and a time to survive. A time to surrender and a time to rebel. A time to embrace and a time to be self-contained. A time to speak and a time to keep silence. A time to be there and a time to stay away. time to charge and a time to let be, a time to reach beyond and a time to consolidate, a time to be moderate and a time to be outrageous, a time to be anxious and a time to be at peace, a time to stay and a time to move on, a time to care and a time to be cared for, a time to generate and a time to let loose, a time to love and a time to let go. So I wonder what it might be that you feel that you want to let go of today, what it might be that you want to take up, and where do you find love this day? So sharing a couple of readings, first from Psalm 8. Hi Sarah. O God, our God, how glorious is your name in all the earth. You who put grandeur above the heavens by the mouth of babies and sucklings, you founded something vigorous to deal with your adversaries, to stop the enemy and the person taking redress. When I see the heavens, the things that your fingers made, moons and stars that you established, what are people that you are mindful of them, human beings that you attend to them? But you made them fall short of God by a little, and you crown them with honour and magnificence. You let them rule over the things that your hands have made, and you put everything under their feet, sheep and cattle, all of them, and the wild animals too, the birds of the heavens, the fish of the sea, which pass over the paths in the sea. O God, our God, how mighty is your name in all the earth. It's holding those thoughts of the wonder of creation being given into human hands, that we might care for it, cherish it, know it, and treat it with deep respect. And then a reading from Hebrews chapter 11, the reading set for today. Having given this great explanation of what faith really means, and a load of examples about faith of Old Testament characters and stories, and by faith what those people did by trusting in God. Paul then goes on to say this: what more can I say then? I've run out of time to tell you about Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, David, Samuel and the prophets. It was through faith they overcame kingdoms and put justice into practice, received promises, shut the mouth of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, were strong where they had been weak, became powerful in battle, sent foreign armies packing. Women received their dead by resurrection. Others were tortured, not accepting release so that they may receive a better resurrection. Others again experienced painful derision and flogging and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were put to the sword, they went about in sheepskins or goat hides. They were destitute, they were persecuted, they were ill-treated. The world did not deserve them. And they wandered in the deserts and mountains, in caves and in holes in the ground. All these people gained a reputation for their faith, but they didn't receive the promise. God was providing something better for us, so that they wouldn't reach perfection without our doing so as well. Fascinating. Hi, Judith. So that great list of faithful people added to the list of other faithful people, how they clung on to God's promises and received in part those promises, but how actually God's picture for them and for us was bigger and wider and deeper than they could have imagined. And Paul goes on to point to Jesus and to say he is the one that we should be clinging to, running to, racing for. And we look at his life and the justice that he showed and the care that he showed and the way that he was. And I wonder how that speaks to us in this day. How do we show care and love? How do we include rather than exclude? I think I've been a bit dismayed reading some of the news this morning, looking at COVID-19 cases here in South Yorkshire, looking at what's happening in West Yorkshire, and hearing people say it's a scam, it's a hoax, they're just trying to shut down businesses, all that kind of thing. Utter madness, absolute madness. How do we care for one another in these days? We've been given the world to cherish and care for. We've been given the example of great faith. How is your faith today? How might we reach out and grasp the stories of these great saints, that from them we might draw strength and inspiration? How do we cry out for justice, act with grace and mercy? I'm not going to answer those questions for you. You know what God has put onto your heart. You know where you are being challenged. I know where I am being challenged. I am one of the more cautious ones who thinks rushing out and doing all sorts of things and ignoring the tier 3 rules is wrong. I interpret them potentially more cautiously than some of my colleagues. I'm not criticising them, I'm just saying that's where I am. It's so easy to criticise one another. We can't do that. We have to find a way to love and support one another in these days. So let's be quiet for a moment. Bearer of the world, there is nothing new under the sun. You bear me through time and change and what is strange and new. When life is unfair, you weep with the injustice of the world. When the season is cruel, you never withhold your love. That might be worth hanging on to. When the season is cruel, you never withhold your love. Where do we find that love in these cruel days? Be close to all this day who feel that everything is futile. To all who are haunted by dreams of an unlived life or feel that it is too late. All who are in a time of grief or a time of diminishment. All who find the memory of better times unbearable. All who consider cutting their time short. Just praying for anyone suffering with mental health and anxiety. For those for families where people have taken their lives because of the stress of these days. And we've seen the statistics go up. For those with family and friends in hospital. And for those at this time who mourn the loss of a loved one. I'm thinking particularly of my friend Mary in Norfolk. Who might you be thinking of today? Bear us through this time, you who bear our pain and longing. Let us hear your voice whispering, all is sacred. It is your time. So, beloved one, our beginning and end, for every season we have journeyed through, may we find gratitude. And for those that are to come, may we trust. Bless the time that we spend now in this turning world, until we reach the place where there are no seasons, but only your peace. So whatever you're doing today, God bless you and keep you. May you walk in and know the deep peace of Christ. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.